Hi everyone. You know how much I love animals, especially cats. So when I saw this little ball of fur at the shelter with those big green eyes staring right at me, I knew I had to take him home. His name was Milo. Mark, my husband, wasn't so sure. Ellen, he said, with that look he gets when he's about to say no, we already have the goldfish. But come on, who can resist a cute kitty? I promised Mark that I'd take care of everything. You'll be our little shadow, I told him, picturing Milo curled up on the sofa with us. Mark sighed, knowing he'd been outvoted. That's how Milo became a part of our family. Little did we know our lives were about to get a whole lot more interesting. Milo settled in quickly. He loved chasing after toy mice around the house. He'd nap in sunbeams, looking like a little furry angel. Mark started warming up to him too. He'd pretend not to notice Milo rubbing against his leg, but I'd catch him scratching behind Milo's ears. One evening we were watching TV and Milo snuggled up on Mark's lap. Mark looked down at him and said, "You're all right, Milo." I knew right then he was smitten. We were a family now, the three of us, or so we thought. It started subtly. Every day at exactly 3:07 p.m, Milo would stop whatever he was doing, playing, sleeping, eating, and stare at the wall. Not just a glance, but a fixed, intense stare. At first I thought it was cute, like he was pondering the mysteries of the universe. "Look, Mark," I'd say, "it's Milo's thinking time." Mark, always the pragmatist, would just shrug and say, "Probably a fly." But then strange things started happening, always around 3:07 p.m. The first time a picture fell off the wall, right when Milo was in his staring trance. Another time, the power went out in the entire neighborhood, plunging us into darkness right at 3:07 p.m. Then, it was the news report about a car accident on our street happening at, you guessed it, 3:07 p.m. These weren't just odd occurrences. They were unsettling events, all coinciding with Milo's strange ritual. Section 5. Mark's skepticism. I tried to tell Mark about my theory, that Milo's staring was somehow connected to these events. "Mark," I'd say, "it can't be a coincidence, can it?" He'd just shake his head and tell me I was letting my imagination run wild. "Ellen," he'd say, "it's just a cat staring at a wall. It doesn't control the power grid." I knew it sounded crazy, even to me. But deep down, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was just not right. Milo was hiding something big. Section 6. Digging for the truth. I decided to do some digging. I went back to the shelter where we got Milo. The lady at the counter remembered him. "Oh, Milo," she said, "such a handsome boy. He was here for a while, though, his previous owners." She trailed off, her face clouding over. "Is something wrong?" I asked, my heart starting to pound. "Oh, it's probably nothing," she said quickly. "Just a sad story," but I could tell she knew more. She finally confessed that Milo had been returned twice, each time after his owners met with unfortunate accidents. One had a ladder fall on him, the other tripped and hit their head. Both incidents happened, oddly enough, around 3:07 p.m. Section 7. Unsettling discoveries. I was horrified. Could Milo be cursed? Was he bringing bad luck to everyone around him? I rushed home, my mind racing. I had to protect Mark, to protect us both. When I got back, Mark could see the fear in my eyes. "Ellen, what is it?" he asked, concern etched on his face. I sat him down and told him everything. The shelter lady, the previous owners, the accidents, the chilling coincidence of it all. For the first time, I saw a flicker of doubt in Mark's eyes. He loved Milo, but this was too much. The look on his face mirrored the fear gripping my own heart. Section 8. The final straw. That night we barely slept. We took turns watching Milo, who, as if nothing was wrong, slept soundly at the foot of the bed. The next day at 3:06 p.m. I felt a knot of dread tighten in my stomach. We watched as Milo stopped playing and turned towards the wall, his gaze fixed. The seconds ticked by. 3:07 p.m. Silence. Then the ground started to shake. A low rumble grew into a roar. It was an earthquake. We'd never experienced anything like it. Pictures fell, furniture toppled, and the lights flickered violently before plunging us into darkness. As the dust settled, one thing was clear. This was no ordinary coincidence. Milo was connected to these events, but how and why? Section 9. Milo's Secret. We stared at Milo, our hearts pounding in our chests. He looked back at us with those big innocent green eyes. Was he a harbinger of doom? Or was he trying to warn us about something? We didn't know. One thing was for sure. Life with Milo would never be the same. We were living with a mystery, a furry enigma with a connection to the unknown. And as the days passed, one question lingered in the air. What was Milo's secret?